And we're live, people. Welcome to the live stream. There we go. Looks a little different than last time on this platform. Looks pretty nice here on YouTube. So I guess we'll just wait for
what's different about it?
People to join us. Well, it looks like everything got like moved to the side. Like, see here, like nice clean background. But we're just gonna wait here till people join. We got 2 people on right now. We'll wait till we have a few more. Are you moving the computer with your feet?
Yeah. Well, centered now.
What's going on, Kelly? What's going on, Ryan and Victor? Mark says hello. So guys, we're just gonna wait for a few more people to get on here. We'll keep talking a little bit. Someone says, how's the baby King Cobra doing? King Cobra's doing great. He's actually just hanging out, eating, growing, doing his King Cobra thing. Kyle, you went to Pennsylvania this weekend. Do you want to tell them about the Hamburg reptile show? Yeah, Kyle. So it's 6 p.m. now. Kyle's naps are typically 2 to 3 p.m.
Yeah,
now
it was a little late.
You took a late nap.
Yeah, it was about 2 to 6. No.
So Kyle's waking up.
So yes, I went to the Hamburg show. It was well organized. It seemed like, obviously the typical Hamburg show is mayhem. But with COVID, it's been nice. They were a lot better about just having, I guess each aisle was one direction. Definitely not as many people flooding in all at once. So it was good. Surprisingly, there wasn't a ton of selection. For being closed for 8-9 months, I thought there'd be a lot more. Even though, I was only really looking for gators that, are getting too big up for Pennsylvania. I guess that's a good thing that I didn't find any. But I wasn't looking for venomous. You really weren't looking, so.
I wasn't even there, so yeah. I couldn't look. My eyes were blinded. No, but I'm not looking for any more snakes right now. I've got a few more in the pipeline that are coming down, but as far as going to shows and buying them. Yeah,
it actually just coincided with my visiting my dad up there, which where I grew up. So, it was more of just kind of going to it just because it coincided with seeing him.
Rick says hello from Arkansas. What's going on, Rick? Hello from Florida. There's actually a pretty good question here, Kyle. Someone's asking about the greenhouse, how much it costs. Because I know we had a few people reach out to us on the Instagram asking about greenhouses. One for Amazon Basin. So do you want to touch into that?
Foot. Let me see. I'm going to do the math here.
In the meantime.
So they're about 10,000 square feet.
10,000 square foot greenhouse. Okay.
Let's see.
Open to the public. We're not open to the public yet. We are working on that. When it's going to be done, hopefully soon. But we are working on being open to the public. I'm laughing because people are playing it on the TV here, so I keep seeing myself on the TV. Let's see. Do you have any Philippine crocodiles? Yes, we do have a few Philippine crocodiles. They will be in a future video, and definitely when we do the move and get them all outside, we're going to show you guys the Philippines.
All right, so per square foot, they are $15 per square foot. That's built, installed, everything. So
okay,
not too bad.
Yeah, if you don't need a 10,000 square foot greenhouse, it cut that cost down.
Yeah.
Let's see. I saw some more. Someone said, warn you about the king stealing hooks. Yes, he is quite the hook thief. But he's actually not that bad. Compared to a few other king cobras that I've worked with, especially around his size, he's actually super mellow. He kind of just rides the hook, wants to investigate. He's not too concerned about coming back on you.
The hook. Rides the hook, steals the hook, tries to bite you.
He's fine. He's never opened his mouth yet, unless he's in his cage and he's in a different mood.
Yeah.
All right. Are you expanding further after this new property? And greetings from Germany. Hello, Mark from Germany. So what's your plans after the new property is, I guess, what he's asking.
So the new property, the 5 ponds are about done. I am pre-approved to build 5 more. So once I get this done, get the crocodiles in, and then we're going to be starting on those ponds. Now, obviously, we're going to finish out Taylor, the public sanctuary first, before we go back to 1,000 and work on those again.
Yeah.
Let's see. What happened to the big aquarium in the garage? I actually may move that over here.
Where?
I don't know. I was thinking
This news to me, guys.
we probably need to build a building for indoor display, maybe a gift shop and whatnot. So
What are you
I was
going to put in
thinking,
there
when
to
the
put
tank-
it on it?
I
Yeah,
don't
to
know.
build a. You know what we should put? We should put anacondas.
No.
Guys, what do you think about anacondas?
No.
Because
That's a waste of a tank.
No.
We could build a cool pond for them, but not a
Okay,
tank.
there we go. Let's see.
But I was thinking just in because we were talking about using the garage, but I mean I feel like that's a waste.
To put the tank in the garage.
Well, I mean I feel like it's a waste of that space. It's all the way on the other side of the property. So I think we could do something over there and have a room that we can kind of do that same effect, where we have an indoor display area for various reptiles. And I think that tank would be a great addition to that.
Okay. Someone likes the anacondas, so I may be dropping some Easter eggs here, but yeah. I'll let you figure out that one. It says get more snakes. So actually, even though I say I'm not really planning on getting any more snakes, I do have some taipans coming. Just waiting on getting those inland taipans. Those are actually one of the most like nostalgic snakes to me. Just growing up watching Steve Irwin on Animal Planet with the taipans, the fierce snakes. So yeah, there are some of those coming. But as far after that, maybe some more. But those I'm trying to slow down here. We're growing a little quick on the snake side.
Haven't seen little gators that were in the house. How are they doing? They're doing really well, growing extremely fast. So the melanistic alligator is going to go out very soon, and then the albino is going to go in the melanistic enclosure.
How deep do the Nile crocodiles ponds need to be, and how deep do you have them? So I guess they're asking the depth of Nile crocodile ponds.
Well, that's the big gray area, is what do they need? That's such a hard question to answer, just because every single person you talk to would probably answer that a different way. The biggest thing to me is I just want to replicate what they can do in the wild. So obviously they are encountering deep water, and which requires them to fully swim, so they can't touch the bottom. So that's my requirement, is just having ponds that will force them to swim and do what they're meant to do in the wild. So 8 foot is about the max I could go over there. So that's what I did the new property. Now over here with the newer ponds, they're still going to be about 6 foot deep with the new sheep pile ponds, 5 to 6 foot deep. But obviously they're not going to have the monsters not the monsters, but just the larger crocodiles that the new facility was designed for.
And then I see a regular on here, CRB conservationist. So I believe you're the one that's been following us since the beginning. So he sent us a wave. So what's going on, man? Let's see what else we got on here.
What was
Which
that one? Did I answer that one? Yeah.
Did you? Hello from Canada.
Does Kyle's
Hello.
family and relatives own Osplin? Yes.
I saw one about Kyle needing to wake up a little bit. Did you see
What?
that? No, I'm saying that. I commented.
Oh, yeah.
Half asleep here.
Who was it?
What about the black caiman? Any plans to get those?
Possibly, but I'm really trying to get more into just the completely rescue side of it all, instead of just having every species. Even though I was a huge Pokemon fan, not at this point, because they
don't want to catch them all.
Actual living, breathing animals. So unless there's a point to having them, there's no desire for me.
But Pokemon cards, maybe.
Yes.
Let's see. Someone wants to know what our favorite snakes are. Yeah, snake fans up in here. Favorite snake, Kyle? I'm gonna guess he's probably gonna say corn snake.
Favorite snake overall?
Yeah.
I mean, I probably would say Gaboon Viper, just because I've always loved them. It's something that I've just always had a passion for. I found one in Ivory Coast when I was there in 2015, and believe it or not, we were going for a crocodile research, but that was kind of my goal for the trip, was to find a Gaboon Viper. We did, so that was super cool to me. So they've always had a special place in my heart. So even though I love king cobras, corn snakes are awesome because they're easy. You don't have to worry about getting bitten. Even if you do, it's not a big deal.
Don't get bit.
But I'd say Gaboon Vipers.
Yeah. For me, I love them all. I was gonna say Gaboons because I've had a fascination towards those. They're just really beautiful, or like a rhino viper. Although they've been one of my favorite snakes for the longest time now, and I haven't got them for some reason. They're just so available. I haven't pulled the trigger. I'm waiting for captive bred ones, and they've all been wild caught. But I don't know, like that's a tough one. I'm gonna say Baron's Racer though, because those guys, after I've been keeping them for about 10 years now, and they're just such a neat snake to work with.
What are the pros and cons of switching the king to rats when they are naturally snake eaters?
Okay, so I saw this comment on the king cobra video. So a pro to switch them over to rodents is accessibility. So I'm able to keep frozen rats, and I can just order them. I don't have to go out of my way to go like find Burmese pythons or find people wanting to get rid of snakes or feeder snakes. They're also cheaper. And then I would say a con is they don't, like king cobras don't eat those in the wild typically. So you got to feed them differently. So like if a king cobra, like let's say for a baby, for instance, if you were to feed them a baby like corn snake, you could do it once a week. It'd be fine. That's how they'll digest it, have a bunch of little poops and be fine. But if you feed them rodents, you pretty much got to feed them like for that one every day to every other day until they get a little bigger, to where now I feed him once a week, and I just watch his weight, because since rodents have a lot more protein, they tend to hold a little bit more fat in the snake. So you got to make sure that the king doesn't get overweight, because king cobras aren't a heavy bodied snake. So you don't want to make them fat.
Off of rats?
Off of rats, yeah. Rodents, anything.
But they also digest them a lot quicker.
They digest them quicker, but they're higher in protein. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But as he's been growing, so when he was smaller, I would have to feed him like 5 times as much as I feed him now, just to keep weight on him. Now that he's gotten larger and I've moved him up to like adult mice, he's actually held weight a lot more, and he's kind of gets a little chunky if I feed him too much. So it's kind of one of those things, like you just got to watch your animals and make sure you know off visual what you're looking at when what you're looking for in the animal as far as body weight. Let's see.
Hello from Scotland.
Any species of monitors you guys would get? I'd love to get a croc monitor. Those things are pretty cool.
Ron St. Pierre posted up a trio. I forget what species they were, but they were like this cream coloration. They had a crazy looking head to them.
So that kind of monitor is the one he likes.
Let me see if I can get it up.
Let's see. Thanks for answering questions. I actually had to sleep. Okay, well, good night. Good night in Denmark. Any other questions? Love your content. Thank you. Most exciting breeding program you guys are looking forward to? Breeding programs. When I get the taipans, I like to get a pair of those, so that'd be pretty exciting to breeding. Also, the Bushmasters, raising those guys up, pretty excited about those. And I do have a secret breeding program that I'll let you guys in on a future video that I just got down here. So when I come out with the video on those, you guys will see. But that's super exciting. I've been working on it for a long time. I finally just got it down in Florida.
Working on it.
Yeah. I've had those animals for 9 years now.
Yeah.
And finally just got them down to Florida. And I think they actually bred when they were housed for me out of state. And I think it looks pretty good. Let's see.
These are Spencer's goannas.
Oh, yeah, Spencer monitors. Okay.
Yeah, they're super cool looking. Let's see if it'll pop up. No, it's not.
Parentis are also super cool too. I was over at Ty Park's facility a couple weeks back and saw his Parenti. That would be amazing if we could get one of those here. They seem like monitors overall are like super intelligent. You can just kind of look when you look them in the eyes, versus like my bearded lizard or like a bearded dragon or maybe a blue tongue skink.
Whoa.
Two different levels, monitors and beardies.
No.
But when you go to the Parenti, like the Parenti is another level on top of like even like a water monitor. Like when I was there looking at it, you could see just everything kind of his wheels spinning. He was kind of trying to figure you out. Really cool monitor. I'd like to work with those in the future.
Let's see. Nice to see Kyle's reaction to snakes hasn't changed.
I don't think it ever will.
Like it.
Yeah.
Good morning from Melbourne. Good morning. Let's see. Was there a time that you were scared
of your life with a croc?
Those Cubans, when they rush you sometimes and, they do a double jump or whatnot. I mean, it can be very intimidating. I mean, we've had footage of it that they're They're coming like a freight train. So
Yeah.
it can be certainly nerve wracking at times between that and then collecting eggs from that giant salty. I mean, there's no stopping them. There's so many people that are like, oh, if I have a 4-foot pole, I can stop a croc. But when you have a 14, 15-foot saltwater crocodile male that's
charging you.
Yeah, it's protecting a nest. I mean, you're only kind of going to get his attention here and there for a little bit until he's just going to keep pushing.
So that night, one person makes fun of me for telling that story all the time. But that night is probably the only night I've legitimately ever been like scared of an animal. Just because we're in the enclosure at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. It was just Kyle and I with a couple flashlights and getting chased down. And then also, like we mentioned in the video, the fence wasn't very sturdy. So when you grab onto the fence to pull yourself over to get away from, you feel like you're falling backwards because we pretty much broke the fence. Yeah. That's the only time I've ever been worried about. Like, I don't think I've ever had a moment when working with snakes that I've been terrified. That's the only one that kind of got me a little scared.
Let's see. How did you get started working with crocs? Just being in Pennsylvania, not requiring a permit to have them. It's very easy to get them. But also just, I guess, just watching Steve Irwin and coming to Florida and seeing the gators in the wild just sparked my interest. And then obviously, like I said, in Pennsylvania, you can easily just buy one. So it was very easy to get my foot in the door up there.
And someone asked if you're Swedish, and I feel like I've heard you say you are.
Yes. I think somewhere down the line, my ancestors added an H because I think Asplund without an H is pretty common in Sweden. But yes, I am Swedish, and I would love to visit Sweden sometime.
Looks like I got a fan in India too. Yeah, I don't know how to say the name, but thank you.
This is a good question. Hey, Kyle, did you design your enclosures with a computer program? No, I am very low tech. I'm a pencil and paper kind of guy. I get the graph paper with 10 squares per inch, and I love it. I used to have like a graph paper that had like 5 squares per inch. Now it's 10 squares per inch. So it's exciting because then I can get more detailed. But guys, that's as high tech as I can get. I get excited over 10 squares per inch for graph paper because I cannot run a computer program to save my life. But I do have an architect, an engineer that I could send my stuff to, and then he can actually make it formal and we can get more detailed. But I've been getting by with my graph paper.
And then here's a snake question, because I love these, asking what venomous snake we don't have that we like to get. So like we did mention earlier, the Gaboon Viper is one that we both want to get that neither of us have here. Besides that, I'm looking for a Bothrops alternatus. That one I'd love to get. I found one in South Carolina. I haven't been able to get it though.
And what is that?
I think the common name is a Urutube Viper. So they're from South America. They have a cool lace pattern. I've been kicking myself for about a year now because I had the opportunity to buy one at a show and I didn't, and now I can't find any. So that's one I'd like to get. I mean, do you have any that you're like?
No.
No. You don't even want the blacks?
Black mambas?
Yeah.
I mean, they're pretty,
yeah.
But it's I'm there's a lot of zoos have them, so you can go and look at them. So,
yeah.
I mean, do I need to care for them? No. I mean, as long as I go and look at them. What? What? I don't care.
Yeah.
True.
It'd be me handling them, taking care, or feeding them.
Let's see.
Reptile Zoo. Yes, we actually came out of the video there. So J-Dog asked that.
Let's see. Please get some color lizards. We don't, but my good friend does. We got a pair from that group that we got the tegus from and a bunch of tortoises from. So they were kind of just a rescue case, and we're just hanging on to them. They're not the pretty ones. They're just like I guess they're pretty bland looking.
Yeah, they're not super blue.
Yeah.
And I saw another one about someone keeping lace monders, and they're lots of fun. Yeah, lacies would be really cool too. Right now, I feel like they're booming in popularity. Like so many people are getting them, producing them, and they have a huge price tag on them still right now. But I feel like in a few years, because of how many people are producing them, they're probably going to be pretty affordable here.
Man, you got to look at leeches. I mean, I feel like leeches are pretty popular, but man, they are expensive. Like $4,000 for an adult.
Yeah,
I mean, they're holding their value. So no, I don't know.
But those lace monitors, I think, are $10,000 for a baby or something, or 7 to 10. I want to say. for a baby.
Are that much? I thought
Yeah.
they were like 4.
You see them every once in a while, but for like
Yeah.
the regular lace face, not like the bells or the super
even the
bells.
black dragons. I mean,
Those would be cool too.
last Hamburg, I guess that was in February. We saw a adult female black dragon for 2,500. So they've gone down tremendously too.
That is true. Oh wow. Okay, I just skipped a bunch of questions here. You guys getting to visit Brian Barczyk soon? He's going on a road trip in a few weeks. I'd love to go visit Brian. We don't have a plan though.
You look like a race car driver with a mustache. Yeah, I'm racing Thursday, I think.
Has Kyle finished reading the Chinese alligator book? Christian, I don't think he's even started.
I've read it 3 times, cover to cover.
Someone said, be careful, guys. We always are. Thank you. Thank you. Someone says they enjoy watching our program. Thank you. Thank you, Jay. Let's see. How's Crush?
Crush is doing very well in his new enclosure. Our Salty is much more aggressive to their female compared to a Nile. Our Salty is much more aggressive.
I guess the
to their
males,
female.
like to females, like if they're cohabitating, I think is the question. There.
Yeah, I mean, from my experience with the Salties I have and the Niles I have, when they come out of the water, the males just close their eyes and just start swinging. So obviously it's far more dangerous if the female's around. Whereas a male he'll come out and they'll bump, but nothing like him. So yeah, I would say anything close to a male Salty when he's in that feeding mode is in the danger zone for sure.
Let's see. Simone from Italy thinks you're beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Are you guys thinking about black moms for the snake room?
Hold on. No, it's not. It says, hi, I'm Italian boy. Or beautiful.
But I think it's
I'm not Italian.
The English translation.
Oh.
I think they speak Italian and are trying to type English. So they think you're beautiful. Are we thinking black mamas for the snake room? Possibly. I'd rather get the Eastern green mamba, personally, but maybe. We've had some opportunities to get one, but I think it'd be the Eastern green is what I would like.
Yeah, well, like we were talking about that room, that would be a great display animal.
Yeah.
Those black mambas.
Do you want to get into that room at all? Like tell them kind of anything like that, or do you want to keep them guessing on what that is?
Like I said, I just decided on the aquarium recently, so there's still a lot of time to work on the graph paper.
There'll be some cool stuff coming up, guys. Especially when you guys come to visit. I'll just say that. Someone's got to love Kyle's expressions when the snakes are brought up. Yeah.
It's the biggest gator croc you've dealt with.
Yes. Question.
I'd probably have to say just my big male Salty here.
Okay, I lost her spot here. Someone wanted to know about the Chinese alligators. How you got those?
A friend of mine owns the pair, so just work out a deal that they're here on breeding loan, and we work out the babies. We split the babies, and yeah.
And someone wants to know like a life story kind of thing, how we got here. So we'll probably come out with a video on that. We're thinking about how we can pull that together to not make it boring and kind of explain how we got to this point without making it boring, I guess.
Yeah,
so
my stuff is still set up in Pennsylvania. That's where any gators that we get in the reptile shows or whatnot that are rescues, we use that as a holding facility of a friend of mine up there that takes care of the animals. So we can still show that to kind of show where I've come from as well.
Here's a question for you. Any cars that you want to get? Any dream cars?
Right now, I like the Porsche GT2 RS, Nissan GTR Track Edition. I want to get another Evo, Mitsubishi Evolution, and I was kicking around, something nicer than that, probably like some sort of hypercar, but haven't decided yet.
Someone said Western green mambas are really beautiful. Yeah, they definitely are. Me personally, I don't necessarily like all the black outlining on all the scales. I like the Eastern greens just because it's a flat, bright green. That's kind of my fascination towards those. But Westerns are beautiful in their own right. Just for me personally, I like the Easterns. And then I saw up there, it went away, but someone's asking what the first crocodiles are that are going to be moved to the new property.
Most likely the Nile trio. They are definitely due for the best, for the, I guess, the quickest upgrade. Just because they've been in a temporary enclosure. Everyone else has been in a pretty nice enclosure. It's big, expansive. I mean, they have plenty of room to move around. So that's, I mean, it's still decent where they're at, but I probably would like to upgrade them. And also, too, is it's 3, so it's going to be an introduction. So the 2 females with the male, so it's kind of a nerve-wracking deal.
This will be interesting.
But also, too, is then we'll watch them, and then we'll probably wait a couple weeks just see if the enclosure is doing everything we designed it. The crocodiles aren't, destroying one area or showing us something or other that we need to fix before we put all the crocodiles there and then have to fix all 5 ponds.
All right, so this actually is a good question for you too, from South Africa. It's a crocodile owner. He says there's no croc food available there like in the States, so I'm assuming croc chow.
Okay.
So his diet, what he does is rabbits mainly, so 70% rabbits, and then fish and red meat 20%, chicken 10%. He wants to know what your thoughts are on that diet.
That's good. I mean, the majority of your diet is rabbits,
Which are high in protein.
I'm guessing that's with the organs and whatnot in it. So that's good. And then fish, red meat. Okay.
And we're assuming these are Nile crocodiles. Nile crocodile you have.
Yeah, I mean, chicken. I'm guessing. I don't know I'm guessing it would be whole chicken. So it seems like I'm guessing is all of this is pretty much whole prey instead of the red meat. But so I think that's a good diet.
Yeah, just make sure all the liver and guts and all that stuff's in there.
You're getting pretty much, especially Nile crocodile, where it eats a lot more. I guess has a lot of mammal in its diet. So I think that's good with the rabbits. The fish, obviously, it's good. Even though Niles, I doubt they eat a ton of fish just because they're larger species.
And red meat might not be too bad because they're taking on like wildebeest and different hoof stock like that.
Yeah, exactly. So they are eating a lot of red meat there.
So do you think they would want more red meat than rabbit, or do you think rabbit as staple would be?
No, I think rabbit's good because again, you get the whole, because you're getting the brain, you're getting every organ in that animal. So you're getting such a variety just in that little package. So I think that's good. And then, because obviously the red meat, you're not going to get all the different things in there.
Unless you fed them whole, but then you need a big Nile. And then this is actually a really good question too. So someone wants to know what experience you look for when you hire people to take care of reptiles, because they're looking to do a career change working with the reptiles, and they want to make sure they're going in the right direction. So that's
what do I look for in hiring somebody?
Yes. So I guess when the sanctuary opens, what would you look for in applicants that maybe they could use as a border or like a blue point when blueprint going where they want to work, I guess, to help them out.
I mean, I guess, obviously experience is beneficial. But also I think there needs to be room for individuals that, are just driven. That's the biggest thing is if you're driven in it and you will continue to keep pursuing your passion, and also just being able to stick to a task and stay on it day after day. I mean, that's the biggest thing is you can hire somebody and then a month, 2 months down the road, they're, half the worker they used to be. Yeah. So the biggest thing is finding somebody that, will still do the exact same thing day 1 to day 100. And obviously listen to instructions too, because you're around dangerous animals every single day. So especially if they're not experienced, they just have to know there has to be protocols in line just to keep everyone safe. Because obviously, there's got to be some way to get your foot in the door. Because it seems like that's the biggest thing, especially with zoos. It's so hard to really get into that position just because, where do you begin?
And keep in mind, guys, we're on the private side of things. So for zoos, they probably would look more towards like a college degree. They're going to want some kind of degree or years of experience to equivalent a degree. But yeah, I agree. I mean, most of the time, like keep in mind, I would say 80 to 90% of the time you work with animals, you're not actually working with animals. So the experience of like getting hands-on is something you can learn. It's good to have like at least a good like footprint of it, like understanding. But for the most most part of the time, like you're cleaning cages, you're cleaning the like for the snakes, clean the snake room, doing like landscaping with the crocs. Like you're not really working hands-on with the animal a majority of the time. That's very little part of the time.
But that's the problem is a lot of people think, they're too good for that, or, they shouldn't be doing that, or that's not going to benefit them. But guys, like, both of us have been through the mud. Guys, nights I've been fixing pumps and fixing pipes and, clogging out drains and waist deep in mud with the Nile crocs. And, I've done it all, I've been down here 5 years, and, a lot of the time, the first 3 years was all me. I had a landscaper that would come every Saturday just to mow, but everything else was me. So it was a lot. So, but you learn everything, you learn every element to keeping these animals, which is amazing, because then, if any little issue comes up, you know how to fix it. It's good to know every element of your work.
Yeah. And like for me, when I was getting a lot of my hours and stuff for venomous, starting off there, I spent 10 hours a day cleaning rat cages before I was allowed to get my hours for the venomous. I had to kind of prove myself. I did that for probably 2 or 3 months, just once a week going there, 10-hour days cleaning rat cages just so I get my hours. So you gotta start somewhere to be able to get to where you want to go. And then also, if you have like a spot in mind where you want to work, I would recommend it, seeing if they have volunteer programs. Get in there and start getting your feet wet and get to know them, because knowing the people you want to work for goes a long ways.
And that's the biggest stigma with me, obviously, with what I've been blessed with. Everyone says, well, he just had money to buy crocodiles, so it's easy. But it's not like a car. It's not like a car where you can just buy a car and have it and drive it. Where these animals, they require the same amount of care, no matter if you have one or you have 50 of them. They still require care, and they still have to be cared for. And a lot of the time it was me. So, it's with animals, they require so much attention, no matter how much money you have, it's still work.
Unless you have a full-time staff to where you can just go hands off, you're doing a lot of work.
And that's what I've seen is, we're getting to the point where we're going to have to need, a good staff just to take care of everything and just keep it, everything perfect.
And then I saw another one here. I'm skipping around. So if you see one you want to answer, go ahead.
Do you have a truck to tow your cars to the track? No, not really. That's a problem, is I have a lifted diesel truck, but it's too nice. I keep it too nice. So I do have another truck, just the work truck. We just call it cranberry because it's cranberry colored, but it'll tow it. I live 10 minutes away from the track, so it's not much to tow it there.
And someone asked if we travel to any reptile shows. We do. So Kyle was just in Hamburg this weekend. We're planning on trying to attend the Columbia show in South Carolina next month. Believe those dates are the 7th and 8th of November. Like to get there. And then there's a show in Texas in McKinney. I'd like to check that out. So we do travel to some shows. Typically we go to shows where venomous snakes and crocodilians are allowed, because that's what we're looking for. And then obviously some shows here in Florida, if they're close by or we have friends going, we'll go to, like we went to Daytona.
How come I never see your spider tail vipers anywhere?
We don't have spider tail vipers. We love to get those. So there's actually one person I know of with spider tail vipers in the US. He's in Texas. The rest, what I know of, are in Europe, and they're just hard to get over here. So eventually that'd be a cool one to get.
Is there an animal at your facility that makes you nervous when you work with?
It depends on the type of work, I guess. Like going in, collecting those eggs, yes, nerve-wracking. Both salties made us nervous. If it's like feeding them, it's not really.
Well, I wouldn't even say I'm nervous. It's just, you just have to know, okay, when I go in the Niles or Chubbs, I don't know if I should even say this, but it doesn't demand the respect like the big salty or the Cubans, where you have to be on your guard all the time.
Maybe the attentiveness.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. It's just knowing which species demands the most respect and which demands the most focus going into it.
And I saw an interesting question. It says, do you guys agree with zero tolerance with free handling? Do you guys agree with zero tolerance with free handling? Only handle when it's truly necessary. So kind of interesting question. So free handling, like true free handling, where you're sitting there with a venomous snake in your hand or arm where its face is on you and you're kind of just like, if the snake wants to bite you, it's going to bite you. And if it doesn't want to bite you, it's not. It's kind of giving it all the power to the snake. I don't personally do that. I'm not going to tell someone that they can't. Do I agree with it? I don't. It's not for me. It's definitely can be reckless. I've seen people online that shouldn't even own the animal that they're free handling. Like in different groups where it's, hey, I got my first snake today. It's a gaboon viper. What do you think? And it's in his palm. And I'm like, well, probably shouldn't do that. But as far as like kind of getting more comfortable with venomous snakes to where maybe you don't use hooks and tongs, like one hand I have a hook, one hand I have a tong, or like most zoos double hook. As far as like that kind of handling, I feel like I do agree where you can get more, like if you tail the snake, is a little bit more control and more comfort, or even working like a king cobra without a hook just because they're too big for the tools. I don't have a problem with that. I actually think that in my experience, since I've had snakes for so long, you kind of get into like a little vibe or like a Zen state where you're just kind of flowing with a snake and you can kind of feel it out. If you don't know how to do it, then absolutely I disagree with you doing it at all. It's something that takes years of experience and a lot of time.
But like you said too, Ryan, it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
You know, it can quite possibly stress the snake out. You know, that's a lot of things with me with the crocodiles is like, you know, if you handle them, I mean, it can be very stressful for the crocs. So I feel like it can be an ego thing where, you know, you're not looking at the snake's best interest or the crocodile's best interest in working with the animal. Yes, I understand education, but you don't have to do it that far to just show education, you know, and that's the beauty.
We're talking free handling.
Yeah.
And even with like the snakes here, like Kyle said, he doesn't handle most really like get in there and handle the crocodiles and overstress them. Same thing with the snakes. Like the most that we usually have them out are for video or cleaning or feeding or move it. If I have to move them, I make sure that they're used to me. So the whole encounter isn't like scary. Like, oh my God, an alien's coming and picking me up. Like you still want to make them comfortable with you, but there's a point where you can overdo it. So even like a lot of those guys, I just kind of leave alone. I'm in the room. I move them when I need to, and I make sure they're comfortable.
And that's what is nice about crocodiles is that, you know, the big ones you can get in with and work with them and feed them in a very stress-free environment for them. Again, like I said before, you just have to remember to respect them and be on your guard, but it still can be a very enjoyable experience.
Looks like we got a super chat here. So thank you for the super chat, K Ward. So let's see. What is Kyle's favorite trait of Ryan and vice versa? Ryan's favorite trait of Kyle. What makes you guys friends? Also, much love to Timmy. Getting sentimental here. How about you go first, Kyle?
All right. So what is my favorite trait of Ryan?
Let's see. This is a funny one.
I mean, I guess, you know, like we talked about before, that, you know, he's definitely passionate about animals. You know, for you to leave a very, I guess, a steady career job in California to come down here and pursue your love of animals. I mean, you know, it goes to show you only have, you know, one life to live, and you're not taking advantage of it. You know, you're obviously following in your passion, and it's a good thing, you know, because like we were talking about before is a lot of people do it for ego, you know, but it shows that you're doing it, you know, because you truly love them, even though you're taking a risk, you know?
Yeah, no, a lot of people don't on here realize that I gave up a career and I gave up a nice comfy life in California where I was able to travel, able to have my animals, and I gave it all up to come out here and pursue something that I've dreamt about since I was a kid. So, and then I guess for Kyle, you know, like honestly, one of the biggest things that since we became friends, like I know a lot of people see him on here and be like, oh, well, it's just a kid with money or whatever. When we became friends, I didn't know Kyle had money. Like I like you can't tell hanging out with him. Like
this is my new shirt, Godzilla shirt. I bought on Amazon. This is a free hat for my shop.
Dude's got holes in his
yeah.
socks. So like I didn't know he had it. So like when I came over here, I was like, okay, cool. He's like got a lot of crocodiles, and then like getting to know him or getting to know the situation. For someone to have all the resources that a lot of people like, if they got money, they'd just be like, well, forget this. I'm gonna go travel. I'm gonna go do what I want, and like I'm not gonna take any responsibility. For someone to dedicate still, because I know how much of your life animals take, to dedicate the life for the well-being of the animals and to kind of spearhead conservation and build something like this that's going to take so much of his time. That was kind of like, for me, I was like, okay, well, this guy's serious about it, because he could be on a yacht partying 24/7, like not really a care in the world, but instead he's out here in the mud, hanging out, working with crocodiles, like going through the trenches just like anybody else when he doesn't need to. So I guess that was, hope that answered your question.
Ryan. Thank you.
Get us all sentimental in here. Let's see, back to animals. That one's funny. Let's see. What's some good questions here? Hamburg as in Hamburg, Germany. No, Hamburg as in Hamburg, Pennsylvania.
Yep. Will you have Kenan on your grand opening of the new facility? I don't think so. Maybe one day we'll, not the new facility, but maybe the sanctuary. Maybe. Just maybe.
That's actually a video idea that they put there. Did you read that one? About the boombox?
You did?
No, look, read it. He says that's what we should be doing. Have a boombox.
Baby, come back.
Yeah, that'd be funny. Let's see. Does Kyle have his venomous? If not, so that's, do you have your venomous permit? Or are you planning on getting it? Kyle, what do you think?
I mean, possibly. I mean, it could be beneficial in the future, but I mean, I appreciate them. I respect them. I enjoy seeing them, but I don't think I'd ever really want to keep them. So in order for that, I think I'd have to meet that criteria for me to really go out there and get the permit for myself.
Yeah. Let's see. Also, Austin Bell says hi. What's going on, guys? So I guess that's Smeet. So these are actually guys that I grew up with. I actually met Austin and Smeet when I was in 8th grade at a local reptile club. So I actually joined a reptile club when I was 12 or 13 or whatever, and I met them there. So what's going on, guys? We've been friends ever since. Let's see.
When are we going to see any more of the car collection? We're getting ready to modify almost every single car, as well as get a couple more. So I think, it might be a good time to actually formally start a new channel for cars. So that would be cool.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, what just happened there?
I don't know.
New collab. So yeah, we actually, whenever Tyler wants to come up and film, we're down to film with him. And then have, like, vice versa, have him up here, go down there. I was actually in Fort Lauderdale, but it's hard with everyone like on here doing the channels and everything. Everyone's so busy, so it's kind of hard to like match up and film something. Any collabs coming soon? Not so far. We're kind of just, honestly, guys, with everything going on, personal lives, property, animals, we've been really busy here on the property, and it's been keeping us, like I said, really occupied. So we haven't had too much. That's kind of why the venomous, I was reading that, the videos have been slowing down a little bit, because there's so much going on, and we don't want to make repetitive content. So we're kind of letting some stuff build and like happen, and then we'll again come out with some more. But we want to make sure that we always keep it interesting for you guys, and we're not just throwing videos up for the sake of throwing a video up. What's the best beginner venomous snake once you have all your licenses? That depends on what you work with and what you're comfortable with. That's the truth of it. Whatever you train with is probably what's gonna be easiest for you. Some people like lapids, some people like vipers. For me, I grew up with Northern Pacific rattlesnakes, and I personally think that's the easiest one, just because I have some experience with them, and they're really mellow.
They're mellow?
Yeah, for the most part, they're super mellow. Northern Pacific rattlesnakes. And I actually have some babies, so if anyone wants some, let me know. Let's see. When is the croc moving date?
So we're just finishing up the wood around the fences. Then we're doing stairs, and then we should be set. So I'd say, realistically, I'm going to say a month, because I'm tired of saying
a month,
week, and then all of a sudden it's 2 weeks. So I'd rather just say like a month to have everything done, have the crocodiles ready to move, and then maybe we'll do it in 3 weeks, maybe 2 weeks.
Hopefully. Someone asked what I did for a job in California. I was actually a realtor, and then doing that down here as well. So just got my license on that. Are we gonna do a Jurassic Park feeding where we put a cow in the croc pit?
We could. I mean,
Do a goat.
No, what I do get deer every once in a while that are already dead, pre-killed. So I guess that can kind of be like Jurassic Park. They're usually either hit by a car or shot illegally, and they end up here.
Let's see. Someone wants to see if you can repeat the chances of getting a black caiman because their phone died.
Oh, there is a good chance we could get one. The more I've done this with crocodiles here, the more I've realized it's not impossible to get pretty much any species. So it's definitely possible. But do I want them? Yeah. But do we need them? Not really. I'd rather save that space for animals that really need it. Instead of importing or just bringing them in just to say you have them. I think there's definitely a need for helping the gators that are already in the States that are living subpar lives. So rather just save the space for that.
Someone asked about West African slender snout crocodiles.
Mm-hmm.
Says I can hook you up. Message us on Instagram. Yeah, because is it planning on any West African dwarfs in the future? West African slender snouts? I can hook you guys up.
Yeah, I mean, I have two female cataphractus, the slender snouts. So if we can do a breeding program and get the babies back in the wild somehow, I mean, that would be awesome. I know San Diego Zoo, I believe, exported some adults. Or no, they imported. They imported. So the question is, can you export them, the babies, and then put them back in the wild because they are endangered species?
And someone wants to know, really bad here, if you have any fly river turtles.
Yes, I do. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5. Let's see. Oh, guys, these comments are coming. Trying to keep up. Veiled chameleons. They want to know any updates.
They're doing well. They're getting fat. They're a little skinny when we got them, but we've been feeding them a bunch. They're outside, living it up. So they're doing really well.
Someone wants a long video of the crocs moving in.
Well, I mean, guys, we're going to be moving well over 100 crocodiles, probably every single animal. So there's going to be a ton of videos. I think we'll just do a video per.
Pump so many moving in videos out that you guys might get actually bored of us catching crocodiles and moving them.
Yeah.
Because like I said, everything's got to get. There's huge stuff happening right now, and once it gets to that point where it's moving, everything like we're get hands on with pretty much every animal.
Yeah, but there's a lot of elements to it. Obviously, with catching the crocodiles up, ripping the fences down. As you know, I'm great at ripping fences down with the tractor. So we'll rip the fence down, catch them up, take them over there. The introduction itself with the other ones, like I said, 2 females, 1 male. So just that introduction will be amazing to watch. But every catch up will be different. Every crocodile is different. Every element is different. Where we're catching them from, where we're taking them to, where we're putting them in. There's a lot to it. And also, guys, sometimes they'll eat the next day. Sometimes I've had crocs that don't eat for months. So just that introduction, there's a lot to learn for me too. We're moving every single animal. I mean, there's always so much to learn. So I'm excited to show you guys how we do it, and we learn together.
And I saw another one. Someone asked if everything's on one property or multiple. It's on multiple.
Yeah, multiple.
Someone asked about your experience at Crocodiles of the World in the UK.
Awesome place. I've been there, and it's right now. I mean, I've seen quite a bit. I mean, but by far my favorite indoor crocodilian facility. It was super cool. Sean took me around, showed me his Chinese gator breeding program. And he was doing some amazing work with Temistoma, Siamese. So it's incredible to see what you can do indoors.
Let's see. Never get bored of the croc videos? Well, we'll continue to come out with them. Someone asked about Timmy, how he's doing, and if they'll see more.
Timmy is doing great. Maybe we'll do a little fun video again with him, just kind of screwing around, driving around the ATVs. He's getting a new vehicle, little Argo, so it's 8-wheel amphibious. So that'll be fun to go through the water with that. It'll be great to do a little catch-up video with him. Not catch-up crocodiles, catch-up just catch-up with him.
Let's see. Have you guys ever thought about getting a few Komodo dragons? A mini Komodo Island exhibit would be epic. That'd be super cool.
That'd be super cool.
Let's see.
Crocodiles is never born. No, it's not. Never.
And then someone wants to see more Cubans. Well, I love Cubans too, so maybe we'll have to do an update video. This week is pretty rainy, so I don't know if we'll get a video out next week about Cubans or crocodiles. So we'll keep everything going as the weather permits. Right now we're going into winter, so we'll see everything's slowing down a little bit.
Yeah, but slowing down as far as the crocs, and animals. But we're going to be starting to catch up, so then be a lot happening here.
Let's see. Any plans on albino sulcata tortoises?
No, sulcata
Probably
tortoise
not.
or sulcata tortoise, they're everywhere. So I don't see the point of having albino ones. They're very expensive. Sulcata tortoise, they're still going to destroy enclosures, destroy anything they can get a hold of and fight. So they're terrible pets.
Yeah. Someone asked about crocodile books for reading. Do you have any suggestions on those? You probably should go to Christian Wild Florida
Christian
on
Wild
Instagram
Florida.
and ask him if you can get any book recommendations.
He's right on here. Best book is.
There we go. Christians for the
Don't say
rescue.
don't say that Chinese
The
alligator.
Chinese alligator is going to be it.
You've been missing out the whole
It's
time,
going to be
Kyle.
it. Oh, okay. Biology and evolution.
That's the book?
What? By who? Christian, we need more details. Come on, Christian.
Oh, of crocodilians.
Type
With
it all
with a
in one
Y.
message.
With a Y. You see that? Christian, why is it a Y instead of an I? Because I know that wasn't a typo. Let's see.
Yeah, how to Colin wants us to look at his question. I'll see his question. What's your guys? Glad I caught alive. Oh, is everything gonna be wheelchair friendly? So ADA accessible is what? Ask him.
Is the sanctuary?
Yeah.
Yeah, most likely yes.
Yes. So we did put some thought into that, and we want to make sure everyone that wants to come has the capability and accessibility to come and enjoy it just like everyone else.
Mhm.
So we are definitely, that is in the forethought of our minds, figuring that out. Someone said, thanks, Christian. Yeah. Let's see. So thanks, Christian, for answering that. Let's see what else we have here. We'll probably answer a few more. We're coming up on that hour mark. So
Chances ecosystem for gators, American crocs, and other natives in the Everglades. You just have to remember, guys. If you make it too natural, they'll just destroy it, and then it's a lot of maintenance. So, it's a great vision to just have these mangroves for the American crocodiles and Everglades for the gators, but you just have to remember the maintenance that's required. So obviously, if you have one or two, no big deal. But if you have, the amount we have and the amount we want to rescue, you have to take that into account and just kind of, balance the quality of life for the animal as well as the maintenance of it all.
and someone asked if we're moving chubs, and then how many people would it take to move chubs? So we are moving chubs.
We are moving chubs. I'm going to try, guys. I'm going to try to just have the crate open, the top open, and try to walk him in. He's pretty chill, and when he's hungry, he will just go about he will go just about anywhere. So I'm thinking just have the top open, walk him in, feed him, and then just flip the lid on top and close him in and call it a day. And then we'll just get the equipment at that point. So just take the excavator, pick up the crate, and drop him in the new enclosure.
Let's see. And then someone asked if we have to medicate any of the crocodiles, vaccinate or do any of that. For the most part, no. Reptiles are pretty bulletproof for the most part. if something does come up, like obviously a vet would come out and figure out if anything's wrong. But I mean, for the most part, I haven't seen too much where it would require like vaccination or anything.
Yeah, I mean, Chubbs has something. I think it might just be rubbing on the tree, but I had a vet come out and we took some culture samples, and she found that there could be a little bit of bacteria growth. Now, obviously, bacteria is readily common in the ecosystem naturally, just with a natural pond. So it could just be they're picking that up, but she was recommending antibiotic vaccines if we want to go all out, but you have to remember these guys are extremely tough, extremely amazing immune systems. So you kind of just also have to let them do their thing too, because if you mess with them too much and stress them out, their immune system will suppress, and then you could be doing more harm than good.
And someone wants to know about the tegus.
What do they want to know?
How are they doing?
They are doing very well, too well. They are growing very quickly, and we need to move them out. They are awesome. They make great pets, but we came into a situation that we wanted to help the animals. But now we have a ton of tegus.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of messages on Instagram with people asking for tegus. We will get back to you.
Yep.
Just trying to figure out the details.
Yeah, this week we are putting them out and putting them live, but we'll obviously send you guys pictures first. Did they say what they want as far as?
There's been like probably 30 people that have messaged asking about different ones. So we'll do our best to get back to you as soon as possible. Like I said, with everything kind of going on besides tegus, we've kind of been getting bogged down.
Yeah.
So we just got to figure out a few of the details to get you guys the correct information to make sure.
And also, I think the biggest underrated animal or tegu is the red, just because everyone seems to be loving the albinos, the blues, but man, I love the reds. The reds are super chill. They're great with each other. They're so pretty, but have a lot of both.
Let's see. Do the croc ponds smell bad?
No, nope, because they work like a natural pond. So you always have that beneficial bacteria, biological filtration in the pond. So all that bacteria in a natural pond is eating all the waste, so they don't smell at all. I mean, it's just like any other pond. Well, some ponds do smell, but no, these are not stagnant either. Between the rain and the running water, I mean, they always have fresh water too.
Let's see. Thanks for taking the time to answer. Of course, we want to make sure that we can get to as many questions as possible. It's one thing. I mean, when we post videos, can't get on there and answer all the comments. So when we do something like this, it's nice to touch base with you guys like this one-on-one and talk to you about it. Mm-hmm. Let's see. I guess we'll answer a few more questions. We're approaching that hour, and then we'll take off here. Are there anything you want to answer, or do you want to? Let's see. Albino
snapping turtle update. No, we haven't. We need to do one. They are very persistent.
Yeah.
Yes, we will do an update on them very soon, because I'd like to put them in a natural pond, because I mean they're cool. I mean they're albino, but I mean my hypos are outside in the dirt and they're getting brown. So it's cool to have the morphs, but I also want to let them do what they're born to do as well.
Someone asked favorite snake that we have.
Corn snakes.
Nothing's funny. I would say for me personally, my blood python. I've raised her since she's a baby, and she just she was very, very defensive like a neonate, and then now she's just super mellow. So
neonate.
I love the progress I've made with her. And neonate means baby.
King snake for sure. I mean, he's just so personable. He's super fun. All the other snakes just sit there.
King snake?
King cobra.
Okay, king cobra.
King cobra, king snake, same thing.
We don't have a king snake.
But a lot of the snakes just sit there.
Yeah,
hissy.
The Bushmasters we got are phenomenal, beautiful snakes. I love working with them. But every time you go in there, they're just hiding, so you never see them. So when they get bigger, they'll be nice. But yeah, those are ones where we're like, come on out.
And corn snakes. Corn snakes are awesome because they come out every night, and they're just slithering all around. It's fun. And you can just pick them up and have fun and not worry about getting bit. Like we talked about before with the free handling.
Yeah. Let's see. Do we have any problems with the cold? Anything for heating?
So yes, because usually I get about 3 nights in the 30s, a bunch of nights in the 40s. And obviously for crocodiles, the Ornogos, the salties I heard are not cold tolerant at all. So I don't take any precautions. So I run water anything under 60 degrees outside temp. So that's a low of 60 degrees. So anything under that, then I'll kick stuff on. But also the water holds the temperature much better than the air. So if you get down to 60, the water's not going to chill quick. But if you get nights in the 30s and 40s, where you get the cold fronts where it's days of that, the water can certainly cool down. So I'll run water, and we usually run water every night, and that comes out at 75 degrees. Just keep running that, and they are nice and toasty.
Yeah, I saw this question earlier. What's our opinion of morphs? So for me, I like morphs. I have nothing wrong or against them as long as it's not detrimental to the animal's health. If you start like for ball pythons, for instance, they were like albinos and also like the cinnamons were so inbred that the babies were coming out without eyes or like a duck face or like just kind of a lot of problems with them. As long as it doesn't affect the animal's well-being, I don't have a problem with the morphs in different colors because I like them. But as soon as it comes out, it's like a snake's born without eyes, or maybe a gator's born without an eye because of excessive inbreeding and
that's
the morphs, then I don't like that.
A lot of times to get a morph as quickly as possible, you got to breed it back over and over and over again. And that's when you can run into issues. Morphs are beautiful. I love some of the albinos that we have, but like you said, if it becomes an issue where it's really affecting them just physiologically, then I think you kind of have to pull back and look at the animal's well-being in that regard. Best question of the night: what's for dinner?
Yeah, Christian, are you bringing us food or what?
I hope so.
So I have a great dinner planned for tonight. I'm getting stuffed bell peppers. Did you guys ever have that with ground turkey? Ooh, they're really good. Really good. Cool. I hired a chef. She lives in my house now.
Hired her?
Yeah.
Time for that piranha tank? No, unfortunately not. Down here, you're not allowed to have piranhas. Because if they get out, they'll do pretty well and terrorize the native fish.
Yeah, quite literally. And people. Okay, do you want to answer one more question? We'll take off. You can pick whichever one you want to answer here.
Let's see. Kyle, you're super down to earth. Thank you very much, Colin. I gotta.
Yeah, you pick the final question.
What's for lunch tomorrow? That's Christian. The Nook, of course, as always, right?
Give him a reptile question. Then we'll get out of here.
Why breeding non-endangered species such as Niles?
There we go.
So, I've always wanted to have Niles. I love Niles. And, I did want to produce Niles. Now, I didn't think they'd all hatch. Usually...
Salties?
No.
Or no, Niles. Oh, okay.
Because 3 years ago, I produced them. And so I put them all in the incubator. Well, I was expecting all of them to hatch, and sure enough, they did. And I haven't bred them since. That for that reason, we usually pull them. And, we did have one this year.
Yeah.
But guys, also, there's a bit of a demand in the zoos for them. So if I really did need to find them homes, I certainly can for educational purposes. But I also have a plan for a 700 to 1,000 acre ranch in about 2 to 3 years, I'd say. And then obviously you have lakes of crocodiles. Now, obviously, I don't want to have thousands of crocodiles, but
hundreds.
And guys, I've grown up a lot every year since. So that was when I first moved down here, got the Niles, and then produced them. So I've learned that, you definitely got to stop. We did the salties this year, and we had one clutch, and we had 45 babies. So
yeah, they're all fertile and hatched.
They're very fertile. So we got to slow down. It's one of those things that we're good for one clutch of each. Let them grow up. I incubated most of them for females, so they'll get along hopefully, and just put them together and use them for educational purposes. Use them for just I guess ecological tours maybe or something of that sort. We'll do like swamp buggy tours eventually out there and just drive through the enclosures. So as long as the funds are there to support the animals and give them a good home, I think it's okay. But if there's no longer homes available for them and you don't have the funds to care for them, that's when I think it can be an issue.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you next time. We'll try to do more of these live streams. Like I said, if the weather not really cooperating for filming, we'll try to get another video out to you, or maybe just a live stream. We'll just connect with you guys. But we'll see you next time.
See you guys.